motorcycle town of Fresno, Nevada, which looks suspiciously like a parking lot. It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live on a gorgeous Friday afternoon. I have been up since 2 o'clock this morning, arguing with the computer, trying to get it to do what it's supposed to do. The rough draft, the final draft of Vigilantes 2.0 is ready. I'm hoping to get it on drive-through by March 1st midnight. I am doing the last layout and all the tricks to make it as professional as I can look with the limited resources I have. It should not take a human being as much time as it does me to get this thing to do what it's supposed to do. It's Microsoft Word. Please, if anybody else out there has as many issues with Word as I do on a daily basis, let me know. Just I'll give you an example of today. Okay. Microsoft Word, randomly removing periods. I go back, I resave the document, I put the periods back in, I shut the document down, I get my coffee, I come back to the computer, I turn the document back up, the fucking periods are gone again. So I have to spend an hour going through the entire 134-page document, replacing 80% of the periods because Microsoft Word just decided to get rid of them. Moving on to placing things in columns, 1 column, 2 column, should be relatively easy. There's a feature for it. Nope. When I place something into columns, Microsoft Word decides to take a paragraph from other random place in the product and place it in the middle of the column. Why? Don't know. I have asked multiple people. They've never seen it do this before. I've called Microsoft customer service and showed them. Look, here it is. Normal thing. Put it in columns. Where did that come from? That wasn't there. Oh, that came from a completely different chapter. Why? Don't know. Microsoft has never seen that before. So I have to take every page, then redo it in plain text, then put it back into Microsoft Word, so Microsoft Word will understand the columns command. Or randomly changing the sizes of fonts. I've got Times Square 25, Times Square 25. They look completely different. It should not have taken me from 2 o'clock this morning to now to lay out the product so I could turn it to make it into a PDF. And Lord knows how many more hours it's going to take me to do the table of contents and list all the different art creators and what other random thing Microsoft is going to do. Because apparently Microsoft hates me. And people have said, well, you probably have a virus or something. Reinstall it. I have. I've done a complete clean reinstall on 3 separate occasions with this laptop, which isn't even 6 months old, and this still happens. What does this have to do with world building and dungeon mashup? Nothing. I'm just frustrated, and I need to share it with you. Okay, moving on. The last top secret of dungeon building which direction do we want to go today? Is there a direction we haven't been? I feel like there's got to be a street we haven't been down. The last bit of top secret, we'll go visit the skeleton. The last bit of top secret dungeon building before we move on to mega dungeon and hex crawls and whatever else. Laziness. Why do the work if someone else has done the work for you? Why design your own adventure if there's a module out there that fits what you want to tell, Take advantage of the resources. It's exhausting being a dungeon master and trying to design these things and keep your people entertained. And God forbid you have half the amount of computer issues that I have when you're trying to write something. So you've got 50 years of backlog from thousands of creators out there. Chances are you're going to find what you're looking for, and with very little work, pound it into what you needed to do. So just some of them are a little bit more expensive than others, some of them are free, but it's out there, and it's not a lot of work. Because I assume search engines work for you the way they're supposed to. And the second half of the, use the tools that are available to you is mash them together. Why use one adventure when you can find 2 or 3 adventures with the exact or similar theme and kind of mash them together to your own specific take on adventure? That's what I do. I learned this from Matthew Broman, but even before I met Matthew Broman, I was sort of doing it, but Matthew Broman really taught me the secrets of mashing up a dungeon, right? So what do I mean? What do you mean, OGGM? What do you mean by mashup dungeon? Okay, well, you know, mashup is where you take 2 songs and you mash them together to make one new song, right? That sort of uses bits of both. All right, so same thing. 2 or more dungeons that you sort of smoosh together. Hi, guys. To create one brand new dungeon that is unique to unique to the story you want to tell, and has the added bonus that if one of your players has read the dungeon, well, you've mashed stuff up, so they don't know what's coming on. Perfect example, Egyptian pyramid, right? I mean, we all love an Egyptian pyramid adventure. We have been fascinated with the great deserts, the mysteries of Egypt, the mysteries of Arabia, the mysteries of that part of the world, long before Dungeons and Dragons, long before anything. You know, you go back to the 18th century and 17th century, we're just fascinated with the pyramids and Egypt and the idea that we don't know what's buried under that sand. Don't know. I mean, it's 2026 and they're still discovering things about the pyramids today. So it would go without saying that a lot of people, including yours truly, have written Egyptian pyramid themed adventures. Now, obviously, the automatic go-to, Pharaoh by Mr. Hickman, one of the best written adventures of all time. A truly great, brilliant, standalone funhouse dungeon built around the theme of an Egyptian pyramid. But that's not the only one. Without even looking, without even trying, I'm sure if I just went to drive-through and entered the search pyramid, I'd find 8 to 100 various takes. So what you do is you start with adventure number 1. We'll use Pharaoh because that's the most well-known. I think it's still available in some form. And then we find another one, Lost City of Baracus, Gary Gygax's Necropolis, pretty much anything, anything with a pyramid or vaguely desert themed, and we mash them together. We take the stuff we like for number 1, like, I don't know, maybe the general storyline. Curse, dried up river, Pharaoh wants to make up for his mistakes, bring back the sun, built a pyramid, go in the pyramid. By the way, the pyramid is filled with a whole bunch of nonsensical traps and puzzles because I was bored. Butterfly, up. You see him? He's a big one. There's another one. See, I told you. The Ventura, California Monarch Tunnel. And if you're in the right place at the right time during the day, you get to see anywhere from 2 to a couple hundred monarchs. It's pretty awesome. One of the better points for living where I live, at Site B in Fresno, Nevada, and not Ventura. So now we've got Pyramid Adventure theme number 1. We've got Pyramid Adventure theme number 2. We've got articles. We've got tons of public domain information on the pyramids. We've got maps, videos, tours, people who have explored it, papers on the history. You could find anything you would ever want to know about Pyramid Dungeon on the interweb or at that legendary location, the library, with very little effort. And that's not even counting all the movies, hundreds and hundreds of movies about desert and pyramid and curses and mummies, because we love mummies, and the mysteries of Egypt, murder mysteries, horror, science fiction, fantasy, fucking Stargate, horse races, you name it. Movies have been made about the mysteries of the pyramids. Indiana Jones, right? We love the pyramids, King Solomon's Mine. We love the Middle East. We love Egypt. We love the desert. We love Arizona. That's why I use Fresno, Nevada as my default campaign setting, because we love the mystery of the desert. So you have said to yourself, I want to do an adventure and I want to do pyramid, right? And then you just, here's all, is he gone? Oh no, he's changed his clothes. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 8 adventures. Now I'm going to spend, a weekend going through them, reading the paper. There he is. He's got his summer clothes on. He's ready. He's ready for the heat wave. All right, ready for June gloom. Wonder what his name is. We're gonna call him Frank. Hi, Frank. So there you go. It's simple. It's fun, and that's not even including anything you have come up with idea-wise that you think would fit in pyramid or whatever. Another big one is crashed spaceship. Lizard. For a game that is supposed to be rooted in vaguely medieval fantasy, loosely based on Tolkien, King Arthur, and the writings of Jack Vance, there are a lot of crashed spaceships. Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, again, the most well-known, but again, if you go online and you look for crashed spaceship, boom, you'll find tons. People love crashed spaceship. They love throwing technology into the world of magic and seeing how people get all like, oh, uppity buppity, Can I role play the fact that my character does not know this is a flashlight? And how would my character react to discovering a vacuum cleaner? So we love crashed spaceship. So there's a lot of crashed spaceships. So again, dungeon design. Mash a couple things from your theme together. Some kind of animal. I think it was a lizard, or yeah, it's a lizard. Hi, lizard. And then you've got your blueprint, and then you just somebody stealing fire hydrants. Then you just okay, I like room number 5, and I like this one. And here's an empty room, so I'm going to take a room from this adventure and put it over here. And I've got room for a new floor. I really liked that movie. I'm going to include some stuff from that movie and throw it in here and see if they guess. And then, I've got my adventure, and I've got sub-adventures, and I've got resources. So if you ever go through my game or a Matt Broman game, if any of the members of my small gaming group looking for more are listening, you're being told the secrets of my campaign. I mash together adventures. I don't just run one, I run 2 or 3, and I pick and choose stuff from the different ones, and I place them as I feel needed to tell the story. So right now I'm telling the story of great big underdark ocean crawl, which will eventually probably lead them to Dinosaur Pirate Island, unless, of course, they decide to leave the Underdark and go back to the surf. That way I've got tons of Underdark-themed adventures, Drow-themed adventures, haunted mine, haunted cave, ocean, encounters on ocean, product to work with. So when I present my next adventure on the 7th of next month, in case you want to watch it, I have a huge smorgasbord of ideas and adventures to throw at them. So no matter what way they go, I've got something going on. I've got a product I can use. I've got an idea. I've got an adventure. I've got things that I can reskin. We've talked about reskinning before. What is that? What is that? Oh, it's some kind of ancient, I think it's a cactus that has just had an extremely huge bloom. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that. That's huge. Weird. Okay. Anyways, you don't care. So there you go. What is your favorite adventure? That guy right there. Oh, you like bank robberies. Okay. We can find 10, 15 bank robbery themed adventures that we can mash together to tell the story, beginning, middle, end of the bank robbery. And then we theme it to our campaign of choice, fantasy, since we're talking about dungeons, right? And then we just have this story of the bank robbery, but it's multiple things going on. We've got the work of multiple other people that we can blatantly steal from. Unless we decide to publish it, then we have to give them credit. But yeah, the work's been done for you guys. Don't stress it. If you have an idea, chances are there's somebody out there who's done that idea. There are no original ideas. Everything's been done. There's only unique ways to present that idea. Only 5 stories you can tell. Only 32 ways you can tell them, right? Script writing 101. It's just the way you present that story, right? How is your bank robbery story different than mine? How is your haunted pyramid different than my haunted pyramid? What is the unique way through your voice and the amount of resources you have available to you to tell that story of haunted pyramid, bank robbery, or combine, bank robbery in a haunted pyramid. Haunted pyramid is also a crashed spaceship, right? And it's all inside a snow globe, and it's all the entire plot of St. Elsewhere, for those of you who remember that. So that is the secret of Dungeon Mashup. Look at the idea, find the product that's been done for you, and then just pick and choose the ones you like. This one, here's a map, I can blah, 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 done. Present it to your players, and they're flabbergasted because you've just hitting them with all these cool ideas. Wait, the pyramid was a crashed spaceship, and the pharaoh was also a werewolf? What? You can use that one for free. So there you go. How do you design adventures, guys? How do you design dungeon? Because it's March in a couple hours, which means not only am I releasing my next product, hopefully on March 1st, computer gods willing, but it's time to talk about mega dungeons, right? As we do every March, we do Mega Power March and Mega Dungeon March. So start getting your ideas together on what you would want to see in a dungeon design, what your ideas for dungeon designs are. What is a mega dungeon to you? How would you tell a mega dungeon story? What resources would you cobble together to tell your version of haunted pyramid, right? Of really big dungeon that makes no sense, right? Of bank robbery. Okay. Oven things. All right, so we've seen fire hydrants and oven things on our walk today. Just, not what you expect when you're going out for a walk to enjoy the sun and work off some frustration, but hey, that's what makes Fresno, Nevada so interesting, right? I mean, who remembers the old days with Bedhenge, right? I know DM Kurt does, if he's out there. Anyways, if you appreciate the meanderings of my I used addlepated in a sentence, addlepated brain on dungeon design, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you think you'd like me to talk about in the coming days, months, and years. And we'll be back when I go for my next walk. Until then, please think for a moment to like, share, subscribe, and support the OG Jay Willis. Support the OG GM. I've got all my product on sale on drive-thru for $1. I've got a new product, knock on wood, coming out March 1st for Mega Power March. So please consider supporting me. And until then, I will bid you all a good